So Necessary Evil continues in Go-Go Power Rangers issue 22, and this issue was quite the interesting issue, and after reading this issue and seeing the cover for next month's issue, it kind of makes sense where everything is going with this issue, with this comic, because yeah, a lot of things happen in this issue, a lot of talking, but a lot of character development talking with the Rangers in this comic, because one of the biggest things I enjoyed about this comic, well, in this issue of this comic, was Billy's talk to Zordon, because Billy is trying to figure out a way to charge the Dragon Coin, and it's really interesting because Billy goes, there's got to be a way we can recharge it, and if you remember the last arc we had before Necessary Evil, that arc with Rita was all about charging the Dragon Coin. But Billy has this speech saying, if Tommy's powers can be taken away just like that, I'm worried if all of our powers can be taken away just like that. And Billy talks about how he says, I'm glad I'm a Ranger now, I used to not like it, and now I'm glad I am one, so I don't want my powers to be taken away from me. And it's a really good insight to Billy's character moving forward in the comics with what might happen to him, and in the TV show with Billy in the TV show, where Billy becomes a character further down the line, from Mighty Morphin to Zeo and etc. Well, mostly Zeo, because that's where Billy stopped appearing in the show. But if you look deep into the character and what he says, when you read into it like I do, it's a really interesting speech that Billy gives. So Billy is trying to find a way to power up the coin, but Zordon's like, Tommy might not be a Ranger anymore, but he's always going to be a part of us. So it's sort of like a wink wink, nod nod that he's going to be the White Ranger later down the line. We also had the return of Matt, everyone's favorite character, my favorite character. Matt is one of my favorite characters in Go-Go Power Rangers, and it's cool to see that Ryan hasn't written him out of the story just yet. He's sticking around in this arc. Matt isn't gone just yet, and Matt, he's probably the smartest civilian in Angel Grove who isn't a Power Ranger, because he's caught on that Tommy is the Green Ranger, and I do like his speech because Matt is basically the audience with what he says. He says, oh, Tommy shows up into town, there's mysteriously a new Power Ranger, then he leaves and the brand new Power Ranger's gone. I mean, something's up right there. So Matt's already caught on that Tommy is the Green Ranger and he's disappeared already, and he's sort of being that shoulder for Kim the Crown. Well, not Cryon, but someone she can talk about and vent her feelings about, saying, if there's anything not normal you want to talk about, like the weird stuff, I'm here for you. So it's cool that Matt is still around. He's still a cool guy. He's not a jerk anymore. Kim and Matt have made up, and it's cool that Kim and Matt are still friends, and Matt is still around in this comic, because a lot of people are hoping that Matt could be like a Ranger someday, which is a bit weird, but anyone can be a Ranger, and maybe Matt can be a Ranger someday as well. I mean, I was doubtful about it like earlier on, but I kind of want to see Matt become a Ranger because he's grown into his own character. He's a good person deep down. He might not be a fighter. He'd be a good mentor figure if he was in the Power Ranger universe. I just want to say that much, because Matt is a cool guy. I really like him, and Matt is back in the story. Good old Matt. We also see how the Rangers cope when they're not being Rangers. We've got Trini volunteering with kids and helping animals and stuff like that, doing her Trini stuff. Zach is tagging along to help her too. It's really cool stuff, and you get to see him like have this talk saying, I hope the others are doing fine. How do you think they cope with this stuff? I really do like their heart-to-heart, and as they're talking, you sort of see Zach reach around and put her arm around Trini, sort of doing the hug thing, but as that happens, the monster attacks. We get a brand new monster in this issue, a brand new original monster called War Bunny. It's doing the Lord Zed thing where he takes an item or an animal and turns it into a monster. This time it's not a weird Japanese thing like they had to use in the Die Ranger footage. They're kind of going with like a Norse thing, because they call it a Austrian bunny the way he speaks, so I'm guessing he sounds like Arnie. If you watched my live reaction, I was trying to do that voice. But War Bunny is a really cool design. Francesco, sorry if I butchered your name there, did a really good job with this issue. Like, the art was really good, on point. I really did enjoy the art in this issue, because the artist that we've got now, he was the assistant artist in Beyond the Grid when Beyond the Grid was having its bad days with the art, which was the first 4 issues. So his art was really cool. War Bunny's design is really, really awesome. I do like that design. And he's got this like 4 hammer. He's kicking the Rangers' butt because the Rangers are fighting without Jason, and you actually get to see the Rangers struggle in a battle without Jason. It shows how much the other 4 Rangers need to rely on Jason or Tommy, because Jason's a leader and he tells them what to do, and that sort of integrates with the discussion they have at the start of the issue, because at the start of the issue, I know I'm going all over the place with this stuff, but I kind of want to get to where I'm getting with the big cliffhanger, because it sort of ties together with the discussion. But the after arrival day discussion is during Green with Evil, like parts 4 and 5, which I talked about in my preview, and they're sort of discussing what should they do with Tommy once they defeat him. Should they let him join the team or not? And they're letting Jason make the decision, and it shows how much the Rangers rely on Jason for a decision with the team, because he is the heart of the Rangers. He is basically the boulder they lean on when they need to make a choice or decision. They need to rely on Jason when making choices like that, because he's the Red Ranger. He leads them through the battle through and through. So it's sort of like, what should we do? Should we let Tommy join the team or not? It's up to Jason, and that's sort of where the flashback ends. So the flashback was really, really interesting, because like I said, if you read into it, it's saying, should we let Tommy on the team or not? And you know how Shattered Grid turned out, well, the world of the Coinless turned out. Tommy didn't join the team. He didn't accept the handshake at the end. He ran away. So it's sort of like hinting at what's going to be happening next month with Go-Go, with Lord Drakkon on the cover, which I'll get to in my predictions later down the line. So with the Jason stuff basically picks up where we last left off in the previous issue, and he's talking about what we've been learning in Mighty Morphin, where he says the times have changed, there are people having strange abilities since the universe was reshifted, not everything was fixed entirely, which is still something we have to learn. We're going to have to learn through Go-Go and Mighty Morphin throughout the run, throughout this arc. And Jason has no idea what's going on, because he's like, we beat Drakkon once, but what do you mean a second time where he did all that stuff in the Shattered Grid arc? That stuff never happened to me. So it shows that the Shattered Grid stuff never happened in Go-Go because of the rewriting of history. So the Shattered Grid stuff in issue 25 to the Shattered Grid finale in Mighty Morphin never happened in the Go-Go universe. So Jason has no idea what he's talking about. And the Blue Ambassador is like, okay, if you won't listen, I'll show you what happened. And then the issue ends with Jason lying on the floor. He's having some kind of seizure, and I get the feeling what's going to happen in the issue. This is my big prediction that I mentioned a few seconds ago. What we saw on the cover of issue 23, I believe, of Go-Go Power Rangers, is Jason witnessing the events of Shattered Grid. He's going to be sort of like a ghost on the wall, witnessing everything happened so he can understand why everything happened for a reason. Now, I don't know why Lord Drakkon is attacking him. I'm guessing that's to make the cover have a bit of hype. But if Lord Drakkon is back or not, we are going to fully figure out next month. I get the feeling he isn't back 100%. I get the feeling that Lord Drakkon is back in some sort of way, but Jason is going to confront him in the dream. He's going to have a dream to learn how powerful Lord Drakkon is and how there's other people like him out there. But overall, issue 22 of Go-Go Power Rangers was a solid issue. The art was on point, the writing was on point, everything was on point with this issue. I mean, we had a really cool morph sequence, some really cool fights, some character development. Everything is going smoothly in Necessary Evil. I'm just waiting to see who the main antagonist of this arc is, because with Shattered Grid, it was the Ranger Slayer, and then the Ranger Slayer went away. She became their friend within an issue, and they were just hanging out and stuff. I'm curious to find out who the main antagonist of Necessary Evil is. And I know everyone's going to say it's Lord Zed, but I get the feeling whoever it is, if it is Lord Zed or not, I want to find out what their plan of action is, because things are getting really interesting in Necessary Evil, and I can't wait to see the two comics intertwine, because I understand that one event is going to lead to the next event, like leading into Mighty Morphin and so on and so forth, but I'm curious to see how we get from here to there and fill in the gaps along the way. So that's my review, that's my reaction, that's my thoughts on Go-Go Power Rangers issue 22. What did you guys think of the issue? Did you think it was a good issue or not? Did you have your problems with it? Did you like it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you thought about it. Anyways, I'm out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys around. Peace out.